Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. I hope y'all can't see my feet, huh? Cause they anyway, got some wine. Today's gonna be my first story time. I'm a little tipsy already. Okay, hold on, let me get myself together. So today I'm gonna tell y'all about how I almost got fired during quarantine. So if you're new here, let's rewind this. Subscribe, babe. I don't know if it's down here. Subscribe. Literally, we're a family here. I'm like at 120 subscribers, and I know that isn't a lot for y'all, but it's a lot to me. So literally, like, tap in, babe, tap in, because the content is going to come, and it's going to come consistently. Anyway, so guys, I literally almost got fired during quarantine, during all of this coronavirus stuff. So some of you may know, and if you don't know, I am currently a teaching assistant, a part of my graduate assistantship, you know, with my university or whatever. Cool. So I previously talked about how I was worried about, you know, campus shutting down and everything, you know, really being on lockdown, and how it was going to impact me, considering that I didn't have, you know, like a valuable or a reliable source of internet. Or like, okay, so basically, like, I don't have a working computer. So when I edit videos, when I was on campus, like before my computer went out, I either edit on a friend's computer or I went to the library. Like, I was hustling and bustling. And then we had an office, so I had my own personal desktop. So obviously, if we're going to move to a remote setup, I'm in trouble. And so I hit up, oh, it's just literally a mess. Like, it's so much background to this, and I'm not gonna say any names. I'm gonna just try to keep it a buck, but keep it, you know, cute. So there's already tension between myself and, I would say, my bosses, just because there could be improvements on the space as far as inclusivity, as far as just things along those lines. And I am not a girl that's going to be hush about it, you know. Okay, y'all, and I'm sorry about this, like, glare and stuff. We making do with what we got. So basically, I had, you know, let them know that, hey, you know, everything is canceled for graduation. And I mean, I haven't really expressed this to other people because it really is nobody's business, but I also had 2 deaths in the family, pretty much back to back. And so if I want to go home, I can go home, right? You know, I don't have to report to anybody in person. So I emailed them and I said, hey, I just want you all to know that I will be moving back home to Chicago pretty soon. And I don't have a computer. Pause.
They know I don't have a computer because they gave me a loaner computer to complete my thesis and my thesis defense. Okay, back to the story.
So I said, hey, you know, like, I'll be leaving home, and I do have your computer, and I want to know, you know, what should I do as far as internet connection? You know, I have internet at home, but I don't have access to a laptop. So I was wondering what I should do about my, you know, my job, and like, how do I go about getting things done? So you would assume that they would be like, oh, you know, just keep the laptop that you have, mail it back to us. No, hon. They emailed me back 3 days later and said, as of today, because you are not able to complete your duties as a teaching assistant, we're ending your contract and you will no longer get paid for the rest of the semester. And so there's so many problems with that. One being, you email me the day of to let me know that you're fired, right? You emailed me the day of to fire me because of lack of access, not because I don't want to do my job, or not because we losing money so we have to lay off students, but because I don't have access to my own personal laptop. Y'all basically said, bye, bestie. After literally 2 years of slaving for y'all, babe, no. Babe, no. I'm not gonna go, I literally cannot speak for other people, but I'm not going out like that. And that's just that. It literally is just that. And so, like, a part of my problem is that within academia, there's just so much classism. There's like a classist attitude. Like, everyone doesn't come from what you came from, right? Everybody doesn't have the same experiences. Everybody doesn't have the same access to things. And so it's up to y'all as a university, as a department, to ensure, you know, that you all will at least try to provide some support. They didn't even try to sugarcoat it, y'all. Like, literally, they didn't say, oh, we spoke with the dean of the graduate school, and unfortunately there's no more resources. You know, we gave out all of our loaner laptops. Sorry that we couldn't do more. None of that. I also was appalled because I'm just like, out of everybody, I feel like in the department, right? No matter what year you are, I am one of the ones that babe, no. And I advocate for myself. I advocate for others. Advocate for professors. Professors advocate for me. Like, there's never a time where I've been mute. Like, y'all knew. Like, you knew you wasn't gonna be able to get away with this. So, like, I feel like it was more trouble for y'all to even try to, like, dismiss me like that. Like, remind you, the president had just sent out an email about how they were going to support students financially during this crisis. So people who had employment through the university, they would be getting paid regardless of whether they could work. Granted, I was not expecting to not work because I don't work in food services. I didn't work at the library. Like, everything I do is technology based anyway. So all I was asking was for resources, right? So I called up my line sister, IT Aloe, hun, and if anybody know my line sister Allison, that is a businesswoman, and she's a businesswoman. And so I hit her up like, hey sis, like, this is what's happening. Like, what can we do to figure out how to professionally drag them, because this is completely inappropriate. And so she gets her mom on the phone, and mom is just like, oh no, this is completely inappropriate. And so I tell them, like, oh, the university did just email us talking about the financial support that they were going to give students. And so they're like, oh, just call the president's office. One thing about Jay being me, Jay is not scared to advocate for herself. So I call the president's office, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Tell them the situation, and the lady on the phone, she was so nice and so sweet. And she was like, okay, hun, just forward me all the emails. And I'm sure she was doing it so that she could get her own perception of what was going on. I forwarded her the correspondence between myself and my bosses. And she said, oh, it seems to me that you're just asking for equipment. You're asking for resources in order to get your job done. And I said, yes, ma'am, I am. She said, if you don't hear back from someone in your department in an hour or so, you need to call me back. And so, remind you, it took them 3 days to contact me back in the first place. I get an email from one of my bosses maybe 20 minutes later. Hey, can you provide your phone number and a good time to talk to you? I basically let her know, call me at your earliest convenience. So she calls me, full-blown manipulation from my perspective. Yeah, what's going on? And I tell her, like, hey, you were CC'd in all of the emails, but to reiterate the situation, this is what's happening. And so she's like, I was just a little taken aback, getting a call from the president's office because, I can help you as much as you allow me to. And this is manipulation because we had a previous conversation about, you know, me and my feelings about being the only Black person in the department, having to figure out a lot on my own and stuff like that. And so just don't throw stuff back in my face that we've had intimate conversations about, right? So I said, you know, I do appreciate your support, and I know that, you know, you will help me. Lies, because I know you won't. But you were CCing all the emails, babe, so you knew. Like you knew exactly what was happening. And so I was just like, yeah, you know, I took it upon myself to call because I, you know, discussed with my family how inappropriate of a response this was. And I told her, I said, I know you and everyone else in that office would never want to be fired from their job during a global pandemic where the job market is basically crashing. So I felt like this was inappropriate, and I felt like the department really needs to, y'all need to be held accountable, period, point blank. Miss Ma'am was not happy about that. She literally didn't say anything in response. She just said, okay, I'll send you the contract over so you can take the computer that you have now home. Okay, babe. Thank you.
You literally could have done it in the first place.
But the thing is that they just wanted to get rid of me sooner. Like, I don't have to come back because I'm not completing the PhD portion. So it's like, okay, like, let's just send her on her way now. No, you're not. Don't play with my bag. Don't play with my bag. But I say all that to say, like, 2 things I learned. Don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. Don't be afraid to advocate for others. And 2, oftentimes we are very disposable, so don't compromise yourself, your self-worth, anything for these jobs, because they will literally drop you like a hot tamale. So yes, that is the end of my story time, and I'm currently still employed, boo, until my original contract is over. So thank you. Thank y'all for tuning in. I know we're all in quarantine, so like, comment below, like, how have y'all been adjusting to work? If you know you got furloughed or laid off, like, what are you doing to keep yourself together mentally? Let's chat. Like, we're all going through a lot right now. As y'all can see, like, I'm back home, and I don't even know if I've updated y'all with previous videos as far as that, but yes, that's my story time. Follow my Instagram. Like, comments, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with another one soon. So